It blankets our grocery store shelves. It coats our tongues. It dominates our modern diet. Fat is the single most destructive force in the history of human nutrition. A silent, lubricating poison that is systematically dismantling global health from the inside out. For decades, we were told to watch our calories, to look out for all types of sugar, including natural and healthy types of it, and to eat fatty foods more and more. But while our attention was diverted, a heavier, more insidious killer was quietly creeping into every single meal we consume. It is an anatomical nightmare disguised as comfort food, and it is pushing the human body to its absolute breaking point. To understand why we are losing this battle, we have to understand the sheer, terrifying power of addiction. Fat is, without question, the most addictive compound on the face of the earth. It doesn't just taste good, it hijacks the human brain. From an evolutionary perspective, dense dietary fat meant survival. For our ancestors facing starvation, finding a high-fat energy source was the ultimate victory. Our brains evolved to reward us for finding it, releasing a massive flood of dopamine, the pleasure chemical, every time fat touches our taste buds. But today, we no longer live in a state of famine, yet our biology remains stuck in the Stone Age. The food industry knows this, and they have weaponized our own evolutionary survival mechanisms against us. They have engineered what scientists call the bliss point, the perfect, hyper-palatable combination of fat and processing that overrides our natural satiety signals. When you eat fatty foods, your brain's defense mechanisms are completely paralyzed. Your internal off switch is flipped. You cannot eat just one bite because your brain is being chemically flooded with the signal to consume more, and more. It is an artificial loop of craving and consumption that is virtually impossible to break through willpower alone. This makes avoiding fatty foods one of the hardest challenges in modern human history. Walk down any supermarket aisle, look at any fast food menu, or open any food delivery app. Fat is inescapable. It is hidden inside commercial pastries, injected into processed meats, laced through frozen dinners, and baked into seemingly innocent savory snacks. Even foods marketed as convenient or comforting are structurally held together by industrial oils and solid shortenings. The food industry relies on these cheap, heavy lipids to mask the taste of low-quality ingredients, enhance texture, and artificially extend shelf life. They are prioritizing corporate profit margins over the structural integrity of your arteries, leaving consumers trapped in an environment where healthy choices are actively drowned out by a sea of grease. Now, defenders of the food industry and outdated nutritional theories will argue that the body needs fat. Let us be entirely clear about the science. Yes, the human body requires a very small, microscopic amount of essential polyunsaturated fats each day just to maintain basic cellular functions. But let there be no mistake. This biological necessity does not automatically turn fat into a health food. It does not absolve it. In the grand scheme of your metabolism, these trace lipids serve as nothing more than a basic, primitive form of energy. They are a crude fuel, not a medicine. And the minuscule amount your cells actually require is nothing compared to the toxic tidal wave of saturated, trans, and many other fats that the average person swallows every single day. We are not feeding our cells, we are suffocating them. The medical consequences of this fat overload are catastrophic, stretching far beyond what most people realize. The destruction begins in your bloodstream. When you consume an excess of these hazardous fats, they completely overwhelm your metabolic system. They spike low-density lipoprotein, the bad cholesterol, and trigger widespread chronic inflammation throughout your vascular walls. Your bloodstream, which should be a clean, free-flowing highway of life-giving oxygen, is transformed into a literal sewer of thick, yellowish sludge. As this fatty sludge circulates, it begins to adhere to the delicate inner linings of your blood vessels. Layer after layer, it builds up, forming a hard, calcified plaque. This is the onset of atherosclerosis and advanced cardiovascular disease. Your arteries narrow, your blood pressure skyrockets, and your heart is forced to pump with brutal, exhausting force just to keep you alive. It is a ticking time bomb. Eventually, a piece of this fat-hardened plaque ruptures, or the artery becomes completely choked off. If it happens in the heart, muscle tissue dies instantly in a sudden, crushing heart attack. If it happens in the neck or brain, blood flow is cut off, leading to a catastrophic, life-altering stroke. Cardiovascular diseases remain the #1 killer on this planet, and the primary fuel for this global tragedy is the fat on our plates. But the horror does not stop at the cardiovascular system. The human body has to put this excess fat somewhere, and the first line of defense is the liver. The liver is your body's primary chemical processing plant, responsible for filtering toxins. But when it is bombarded by a constant stream of dietary fats, it begins to store the fat within its own cellular structure. This triggers non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, a silent epidemic sweeping across the globe. As the fat accumulates, the liver physically swells, becomes deeply inflamed, and begins to develop irreversible scar tissue, a condition known as cirrhosis. Your liver is literally suffocating in grease, slowly failing to perform the vital filtering functions required to keep your body clean from toxins. Even more terrifying is what modern oncology is uncovering about the direct link between fat and cancer. For years, cancer was thought to be purely genetic or linked to environmental carcinogens. Today, rigorous clinical research reveals that fat consumption creates the absolute perfect breeding ground for malignancies. Excess dietary fat radically alters your hormonal balance, spiking circulating insulin levels and fueling chronic systemic inflammation. This toxic internal environment acts as liquid fertilizer for cancer cells. Obesity and high-fat diets are now directly linked to an increased risk of at least 13 different types of cancer, including colorectal, breast, pancreatic, and uterine cancers. Fat doesn't just expand your waistline, it actively feeds tumors, encouraging them to grow, divide, and aggressively metastasize throughout your vital organs. Perhaps the most heartbreaking frontier of this research is what fat does to the human mind. We are now discovering that a high-fat diet is a direct pathway to cognitive decline and dementia. The very same fatty plaque that clogs the large arteries leading to your heart also destroys the microscopic, fragile blood vessels inside your brain. This causes chronic cerebral hypoperfusion, a steady, permanent reduction of oxygen and nutrient delivery to your brain cells. Starved of oxygen, your neurons begin to wither and die, leading to vascular dementia. Furthermore, systemic inflammation triggered by dietary fats breaches the blood-brain barrier, accelerating the formation of amyloid plaques and neurofibrillary tangles, the definitive hallmarks of Alzheimer's disease. You are quite literally washing away your memories, your cognitive sharpness, and your identity with every heavy, greasy meal you consume. The evidence is overwhelming, clear, and terrifying. Fat is an all-out assault on the human anatomy. It is an addictive trap engineered to exploit our ancient biology, delivered through a modern food landscape that makes resistance incredibly difficult. It is a multi-system destroyer that shuts down your liver, mutates your cells into cancer, chokes your heart, and degrades your mind. The battle for longevity, for your health, and for your future does not begin tomorrow. It begins with the absolute refusal to swallow the grease today. The food industry will continue to market the richness, to hide the lipids, and to sweeten the trap to protect their profits. But the choice to stop clogging our arteries, stop suffocating our organs, and stop destroying our futures belongs entirely to us. Look closely at what you are about to eat. What is circulating in your bloodstream today?